Hey chat, I got a weird one for you. I love city builders. The opportunity, planning, excitement for the future. Land of the Vikings has two of the three. Let me be clear before we get started. I have enjoyed my time in this game, but I haven't felt thrilled. And when you're in a game based around Vikings and raiding, I feel like I'm missing something. So let's take a quick run through. We'll catch you up to speed. Welcome to Land of the Vikings. Alright, like most city builder colony games, Land of the Vikings has you do the basics. Plop down some houses, food production, resource gathering, and the like. Before too long, you'll have a growing, if not thriving, little village. It's quite a bit of fun to unlock the early stages of technology and watch your village grow from a handful of people to dozens and even hundreds of people. As far as planning and upper dough, from the building perspective, there's plenty to keep you busy. However, in the early stages, I found some problems. The menu and UI behavior is kind of tiring. Once you place a building, once you place a road to a building, the road goes away and you have to reopen the build menu every time. If you say, hold down shift to place multiple buildings in a row, you have to reset the orientation each time for the new building. And listen, this is a hit to my excitement, but planning takes longer because you have to make minor adjustments each time. It's a mild annoyance. But after hours, it adds up, and when you're planning and building your city. So these are minor issues that could be easily remedied, but I think they're worth mentioning since the building is such a core piece of the game. Now, my real issue with the game is the progress system, so the technology system, if you will. In the game, you increase your fame in your village, namely through population growth. You are then awarded with points in the Tree of Life. These points unlock the bonuses as well as new buildings and technology. Early in the game, I saw a reference that Vikings did not differentiate between war and trade ships. And then the tree immediately splits into war and trade. So early on, you have to make a choice and commit to it. Otherwise, your fame production is going to go into the floor. Building up flame is slow. In my opinion, too slow. I needed points to unlock warfare. But in order to get my fame to get those points, so I had to sit there and grind for almost 3 hours to get my population up high enough to unlock the military training I required. Now, this is a first playthrough when I say that, but as a first playthrough goes, that doesn't endear me to future playthroughs. That just gets me kind of annoyed, like, oh, that was kind of grindy. Well, once the fame is ground out, and I have enough fame to unlock the military training, I then have to produce the tools of war to train my troops, which makes sense. But that means I have to get the iron, get the coal, get the leather, get everything required to make the equipment for the troops. All the while, time is marching on, and points for the fame are earned very slowly. So you could end up needing to go get the military unlock, but if you're not in a position to actually produce everything, if you don't have iron and coal ready to go, as soon as you unlock, you're going to spend quite a bit of time just getting the production going. And in these sorts of games, I understand design, and getting to the point I actually went to war, the resources I had gained, the war was pointless. My colony was completely self-sustaining. Resources are unlimited. I don't need to raid. So by the time all the tech was resourced to that point, the resources gathered, my warriors trained and ready to go, I simply didn't need to go to war. It was a truly sad realization. And honestly, the last nail in the excitement for this game, the things that made thrilling, the event system. If you've played RimWorld or FTL or other games, you have random events. The random events in this game are pretty repetitive. They're basically the same event every time. Early on, you'll get a lot of, we found the grave underneath the construction site. What should we do about it? And, okay, you'll get people showing up all the time. And sometimes they'll cause a problem, and then other times they won't. Unfortunately, these events don't change the game. They very rarely change the game in any meaningful way. I really think it's a missed opportunity. Overall, I feel like there's a lot of great ideas, but they weren't nailed down. Many things seem complex just to slow down gameplay with no reward, and other ideas seem added on without complex thought beyond we need it. Great example is the herbalist. You have the gatherer and they have the healer hut. And that's it. They don't expand. You can do a lot more of that. You could easily expand a healer out, especially, Viking lore. I'm sure the healer's connected in some way to the religion and everything, but there's a completely separate religion tree. Yeah. Again, I will say I did not reach the top of the tech tree. It is a time commitment, and as I said, I don't want to sit here and grind out the Tree of Life and fame points. And maybe I'm missing a large part of the game. Maybe there's a lot of in-game content, I'm not saying, but it took me, at best, in my third full attempt to okay, I played through the first time, learned the game, played through the second time, and again, I'm trying to get to the warfare part. It's Vikings. And by the time I got to the third part, it's still taken me almost 10 hours to effectively raid. And maybe I'm just bad at that. But I'm kind of discouraged from grinding even more just to see if that's where the best parts of the game are. Because it's taking a long time just to get to the basic, I want to be a Viking and go raid things. Yeah. That all being said, I actually enjoy the game. I know that doesn't sound like it. I know I've been harping on it. The building stuff is fun. Planning things out, watching your builders run around and put buildings up. It's all very exciting. I love it. I don't mind it one bit. But I'd like, the Viking part to matter in a Viking-themed game. And it just doesn't seem to. And again, maybe I'm missing something. If I'm missing something, I'm sorry. Come yell at me, developers and fans of the game. Tell me I'm wrong. But I don't seem to be, and I'm looking for it. So, yeah, I'm going to put more time into the game. I'm just there's just a gap, okay? There's just a gap for me. Anyway, the setting is wonderful. Despite not a lot of Viking stuff, it runs well. And again, the village building is all very pleasant. Except for the, the UI hiccup, but whatever. For now, though, at best I can tell you, this game is rough around the edges. It's perfectly playable. You can dump a ton of time into it. I've already dumped plenty. But just the warning that some of the ideas don't seem fully fleshed out, fully baked. The balance is off, whatever you want to call it. It's not quite there, but it's not bad. So if you're looking for a grand Viking adventure, I don't think this is it. In my opinion, if you're looking to build a Viking village into a neat city, you got it. Welcome aboard. But otherwise, it's going to be a personal thing. I think if they give it a little love, it'll be great. But right now, it's not quite there. So Land of the Vikings. A nice little city builder. The features could use a little more depth. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. My name is Trobs Monkey. Make sure to like, subscribe, do all those silly content things. I appreciate you. I'll have another video, Void Crew, in just a couple days. I'll see you then. Trobs Monkey over now.